rolling and slipping punches, he's still getting clips. It's not he's taking the sting out of them and having less effect, but he's still getting clips. All these little marks under his eyes, he doesn't need to have them.
And like the first thing you do is like his trainer's Adam Booth, yeah, like George Groves, David Hay, all these guys. Adam Booth, like all his fighters have a great jab. If you've got a guy coming into you for 12 rounds, the first thing you need is a jab. He used it like twice in the fight and he worked, but other than that, he had nothing in it. It's like, go on.
Yeah, you know what is? I think with Josh Kelly, I mean, probably a bit going away from your actual initial question, but I'll answer your question first. Yeah, his jab, superior boxer, you can see it. He had all the skills, was slipping the punches, but his problem is all this dropping your hands and rolling and slipping punches, he's still getting clips. It's not he's taking the sting out of them and having less effect, but he's still getting clips. All these little marks under his eyes, he doesn't need to have them. Tuck up, ride the shots. And I see you started to adopt a Philly shell for this fight, which I didn't like, because for fighters that haven't grown up in that style, you're never going to have the same reflexes. I mean, it might look good on camera against someone who's less opposition, but you're fighting a European champion looking to go on to world championship level.
Former world champion as well.
Former world champion, I didn't know that. Do the basics. See out the win. Stiff jab. The thing is, Josh Kelly has the boxing ability. So even if he wanted to box and move the whole fight, he probably could have done it. He would have had to sit in exchange because he would have kept pressing, but he didn't hold the ring enough for me, especially being the naturally bigger man.
I think a lot of people don't realise every time you're slipping and rolling, whatever, you sap so much energy.
It burns energy, especially if you're rolling. I don't know if you ever played Fight Night when you sat there just going round and round.
The stamina bar goes down, innit?
It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah, it's too tiring. But even so, we've always said he's had stamina issues because the first 3 rounds with Josh Kelly, he looks like the best boxer ever.
Oh, I mean that's the amateur pedigree, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 rounds.
But even so, he wasn't the greatest of amateur, and I think it's because of the jab where he doesn't use it too much. But it's like him and Marcus. As soon as you get past that 4th round, then you really see who they really are. It's like Amir Khan. Take him past 4 rounds, the fight's basically yours, isn't it? It's like,
yeah. Sorry, go on.
It's like, I don't conditioning as a boxer. If you lose based on conditioning, you didn't do your job in the first place. You lost before you even came into the ring, isn't it? And that's something I find very disappointing.
You know what? For me, I think, I mean, just between the 2 boxers there, Kelly and Marku, for me, I think Josh Kelly's problem is when he's boxing them first 3 rounds, he is so sharp. Every punch you can see, he's going 100 miles per hour. That's his fastest that he can move physically. You couldn't try and go any faster if you tried to. Now, what happens when you're boxing at that high intensity pace? You can't physically keep it up. So I mean, prior to the round of him actually getting stopped, he sat down and his eyes were rolling his back in his head. And I said to my dad at the time, I was just like, Dad, I don't know how he's so fucked. He's done. His eyes are rolling. I didn't even see him take clean shots like that to have him drained like that. But it starts to make sense, especially after that round, after the 4th round, the jab didn't have the same snap. And whereas he was literally like, da, 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 like slip. You can't move at that pace. This is championship fighting. You got to find a pace that you can hold. You might have bursts in a fight, but to try and do that every second of the round, my man, you walked him down perfectly. He got clipped and he got hurt a few times. You got to commend his chin as well. And sorry, with Marku, I think his stamina issue is purely being where he is a mixed martial artist prior to boxing. I still don't think he's fully conditioned into being an actual boxing athlete. So all of them guys, they're sitting and holding, grappling. He could probably do that all day long. But in terms of the explosiveness of boxing, I don't think he's capable of that.
Yeah, it's weird because they're built differently. One's like clubbing, heavy hitter. The other one's like sharp, slick boxer, but then they still have exactly the same problem at the end of the day. Yeah. So what do you think's next for Josh Kelly? How can he fix those problems and become better?
To be honest with you, I think for me, I would just like to see him keep his hands up more. I don't think I've seen a lot on social media is people's questioning his heart for the sport and stuff. I don't think it's that. I think it's more a case of he might need to move up a weight. He might have been weight drained. You don't know. But that is the best I've seen him look on the scales. I personally think it's just a case of he's moved up really quickly. A lot of people ain't fighting for Europeans. in 11 fights into their career. He's gonna take that experience. He's gonna go on. You just live and learn. Boxing, a loss isn't the end of the world.
I think it's a mentality thing with him though.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple Instagram pages that used to make highlight clips for him, innit? And I used to watch him thinking he just done that so he can get a good clip on Instagram.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. Them showreel boxers.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? This fight, to be honest with you, it was no different to his last one, which he had got the draw with.
Yeah, Ray Robinson.
Because again, after that midway point, wrestling on the ropes, my man's cornered him. He's loading up. He had no answer for that.
And even against Avanesyan, every time he made Avanesyan miss silly, he'll come back with a big fat smile, not realizing like.
Yeah. You still got to do your job.
Exactly.
Wear him down.
You made him miss. Now where's make him pay now, innit? Make him pay. That's the thing. Those slick boxers, I compared it on my Instagram post, him and Tevin Farmer. You can be a slick boxer that's not getting hit. To me, that makes you a journeyman. Until you make them pay, you're basically literally a journeyman for 12 rounds.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, just comparing it to, well, can't compare it to football really, but it's like them players that they got all the skills in the world, but are you putting the ball in the back of the net?
Yeah.
You're just not. Boxing the same thing. You slip and slide in, doing an Ali shuffle, but where's the punches?
Get knocked out in the 6th round, innit?
I didn't say that.
Nah, but it's real. It's like Marku. He was showboating and then he gets dropped. If he would have lost, how embarrassing would that be?
But you know what it is? We are in an entertainment business. You do showboat. It'll be a showboat. Roll your hands for a jab.
Don't get knocked out though.
Don't get knocked out. Don't get knocked out for one. But for how I saw it, he was just being disrespectful. He didn't need to do it. What are you talking to the man in the middle of the ring? Just prove it with your ability.
Yeah, literally. When I say the talking's done now, go fight.
Yeah. I don't get these boxers who need to trash talk in the middle of the ring. You're already in the ring. All press conferences are done. Fight the man in front of you. If you want to embarrass him, put your hands behind your back and start throwing and hitting him. Cool. I'm all for that.
Because you do it to me, innit?
Because I'm all for that sort of showmanship. But when you start just talking to a fighter, egging them on, like, come on, who's got the time for that? You can't breathe as it is, and he's there talking to the man. It's just like, come on, Marky, please, yeah, come on. Just hold your breath, hold the tongue, and then you might last longer.